Learning is no fun, maybe not even possible, when you are uncomfortable or you're hungry. A lot of things about education seem really obvious, like you need good information that you're giving your child, or it needs to be age appropriate, or it needs to be in a format that they understand. But there's an aspect to learning that a lot of times we really ignore, and it's quite important. And that is the environment. The physical environment has such a huge impact on how our kids learn. There are 7 different parts of a physical environment that I want to talk about today. And the first is sound. Some kids need sound in the background. They need people to be talking. They need music on in the background. They literally cannot concentrate. It feels like they're lost in this void and they can't hold on to their thoughts. They just skitter away. And so these kids will need some sort of sound to be able to help them concentrate. And on the other end of the spectrum, there are kids who really cannot focus if there's any background noise. They have a hard time if there's anything going on. This can seem a little bit stressful if you have multiple kids and some need it quiet and others need noise, and that feels like, okay, we can't do that. But everybody has a tolerance that you can deal with some noise and you can deal with some quiet. And so you can sort of meet in the middle. And you can also have kids go to the other end. You go over there where it's quiet and you come over here and listen to things in your earbuds. There are ways that you can find solutions to this, but just know that sound is actually an important part of the environment that a lot of times we don't consider. The next one is body position. In public school, your body position is sitting at a desk. In homeschool, the world is your oyster, but a lot of times we still have them sit to be able to learn. But you don't have to. You can stand up to be able to learn. And that can be that you can be standing while somebody's talking to you, or it could be that maybe you're standing to write on a chalkboard, or you're standing to give a presentation, but allow your child to actually stand up to perform most of their learning. Some kids, that's how they learn. They've got to be on their feet. Other kids, of course, like sitting down, and that's cool, we know how to sit. And some people like reclining, like they like to be in a recliner, a lazy boy, in order to learn. This can be really hard as a mom to be saying, are you learning or are you just chilling out? But for real, some people learn best in a position of comfort, and that's how they're comfortable. They like to recline. The next one is interaction. Some people want no interaction. Please leave me alone. I'm studying right now. I'm quiet. Other people want some mild interaction, so they want people in the room but not necessarily doing anything with them. They just want people near them. And then some people need the interaction with others to be able to learn. So that's a part of the environment as well. And lighting is a really fascinating part of the environment. Fluorescent lights are really bad for us. Like, it's really an unhealthy environment to learn in. But we have fluorescent lights a lot of different places that learning is supposed to be taking place. So it's really nice in a homeschool environment to be able to say, we're going to open the windows and have sunlight come in, or we just need to have regular lights or full spectrum lights or whatever you have, that there's going to be light. This really fascinated me that when my kids took this test, they basically said lighting doesn't matter to me when light is really important to me. And maybe they're okay with it because it's so important to me that I make sure that it's always well lit. I don't know. But the thing is, some kids really need there to be a lot of light, either sunlight or some kids actually like it to be lower light so that it creates a calmer environment for them. So figuring that out can be really important for teaching your child in the right environment. And another part of this quiz asks about temperature. Do you feel too hot? Do you feel too cold? Or do you not really notice the temperature? Because it's really hard to focus if your fingers are cold or if you're really hot and sweaty. That's all you're thinking about is your temperature. And so finding that temperature zone, and we have a zone. We have an area that can pick up, most people will be comfortable within this spread of temperature. Then there's food. I tell you, every single year when all of the public kids come home from school, their parents are like, they're eating me out of house and home. And I think, yes, they do. Every single day they're home. But food is such an important aspect of learning. You cannot learn if you're wondering where your next meal is going to come from, if your tummy is growling and you just don't know when you're going to get some food, or even if you do know, I'm going to get some food in an hour, but I'm hungry right now, it makes it really hard to concentrate. So in this quiz, it will ask, are you hungry between breakfast and lunch and dinner and different times of the day? What are you hungry for? And I heard a really brilliant thing that a lady did with toddlers, which might actually work with older kids too, that in the morning she would create a plate that had some staying power food. She would have some cheese and maybe some crackers on there, but some things that will give you energy to go for a while, granola bars or something. And she'd just stick them on the plate, and then the kids could come eat anytime that they were hungry. Now, I know there's a huge debate over this, and I don't know what the right answer is, whether you should be really strict and have meals at a certain time and that's it, or that food should always be available. But I do know that if you're hungry, you can't learn. So being able to figure out where your child is hungry and why, if the meal that you ate before that is just not giving you the staying power, or if we just need to eat more frequently, I don't know. But making sure that there is a solid sense of I'm not hungry is important to be able to learn and that's an important aspect of the environment of learning. And the last one is the time of day. I am really, really guilty of this, of starting on our hardest things first thing in the morning. But what they have found is actually we're not ready to take on really deep, hard concepts first thing in the morning. We need to wake our bodies up and wake our minds up and kind of come at it a little bit slowly. That, you know, a long time ago, people would go out and they'd work in the fields, or maybe they'd feed the animals or whatever. They would have some physical chores that they would do. And a lot of the most successful homeschooling families I see will go out and ride bikes in the morning or go do some sort of physical activity in the morning, because that really helps wake up the body, which then also wakes up the mind. And then you can do the hard subjects. And another thing that I've noticed is that first thing in the morning should be spent on inspiring things, because we're better able to focus on something that makes us feel good than we are able to focus on really hard, heavy stuff first thing in the morning. And then after we've done that, after there's been some stretching or exercising or whatever, and you've had an inspiring story, now they're ready to run. Now you're able to really focus, but you're talking about 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. So really allowing your kids to get enough sleep and be able to wake up enough, like not just, hey, I'm moving, but mentally I'm awake, I'm able to jump into this. That's an important part of the environment, is knowing that school is not going to be thrown at my head like some sort of a weapon, but it's going to be unfolded really beautifully every single day. So that's an important part, and everything we do to make the environment more inviting really increases the chance of kids picking up the learning and just embracing it and making it theirs. Okay, I will catch you on the next one. Thank you so much.